Hello YouTube, I'm BoingTheGamer, and today I want to talk about Outriders, a game released back in April 2021 for PlayStation, Xbox, and Windows systems. I know Outriders has been out for quite a while, but I noticed it a lot on sales when browsing the game store, and recently I picked it up for PS5 and decided to give it a go together with my gamer buddy because we were looking for a fun co-op title, and this turned out to be one hell of a co-op ride. You can play solo or with friends, as I just talked about, or use a matchmaking tool and play Outriders online with up to 2 other players. So what is Outriders all about, and why did it give it a chance in 2025 as one of my first major playthroughs of the year? Well, I just wanted a fun buddy co-op game to play with my friend, and Outriders seemed just that. But the question remains, is it still playable in 2025? Did it age like fine wine, or is it a forgotten piece of junk? That's what you will discover today. Outriders is a third-person shooter-looter game mixed up with some core RPG elements, providing a fast-paced action game with a lot of bullets and limbs flying around. Besides packing tons of guns, you can also master superpowers, which I'll get into just in a bit. First of all, you create a character, the Outrider. You have a few options to choose from, but you can always adjust them anytime in the game whenever you're in your camp. Now, Outriders let you pick a class out of 4 options, being the Devastator, Trickster, Pyromancer, and Technomancer. The Devastator is the character I played. It's a tanky, seismic, power-wielding character. It was pretty fun. The Trickster wields time manipulation and has like a rogue vibe to it. The Pyromancer, which my friend played, is basically a master of the fire element. And Technomancer is a character that I almost played. It's a sort of tech guy with a lot of turrets and gadgets to basically let his toys do the dirty work for him. Now, if you played Outriders or you plan to play the game, let me know in the comments down below which class you picked and why, because I am kind of curious to find out which class ranks as a fan favorite. So, as a buddy team-up, the Devastator being quite tanky and Pyromancer being a sweet DPS turned out to be a good combo to overcome your enemies. I gotta admit, we kinda got cocky at times after easily slaying a horde of enemies, and we rushed into the next enemy zone. It's a price we paid with our lives, but lucky for any player, their friendly revival is never far away. And neither is your graveyard, aka your camp respawn point, so that's plus. Anyway, Outriders uses a talent tree to upgrade your line of skills and upgrade your attributes each time you level up, so there is a kind of freedom to build a character fit for your playstyle. Should the game feel too easy or too hard, you can always adjust the tier level, which increases or decreases difficulty and rewards. It's a nice handy system that instantly changes gameplay without going through too many options or loading screens, which is awesome when you're struggling with a boss after, being too cocky, or maybe you feel way too powerful in game and you require more challenge. Besides wielding your powers as an altered, one of your names in game, you use a lot of guns and mods to destroy your enemies. And when I say a lot, I really mean a lot. But I'll get into modification later. Without giving too much spoilers about the story, I do want to give you some sort of an idea. Your character, the Outrider, is exploring a new planet. You get wounded in a storm, and you've been put into Cyrosleep. And you wake up 31 years later, only to find out that the world has gone to utter shit. There's a spaceship floating in space. Wow, think about that. Yeah, it should contain some sort of pots with resources that really would help out your planet, the planet you're stuck on. And it's your job and that of your team to find a way to get those pots onto your planet. It's a journey that will take you far and wide to eventually maybe reach your goal. Along the way, you meet a lot of interesting characters, you notice side questing, crazy towns, and of course a lot of monsters all set in a apocalyptic kind of setting. Outriders is a shooter-looter that sends you from point A to point B, with a lot of killing while questing and exploring the planet. There's also the aspect of gathering resources to upgrade your items. and side quests, which also just make you kill more bad guys to collect more loot. Outriders dated pretty well, and it has seen a few updates, patches, and even an expansion, but the gameplay is quite repetitive. You run, you shoot, you kill, you loot, you upgrade, you repeat. The game eventually gets more challenging as enemies become tougher, smarter, badder, and sometimes bigger. However, repetitive in this case is not per se a bad thing, as the action-packed title always delivers intense combat, good storytelling, which provides hours of gameplay for you to enjoy. In between combat, which is every now and then, you can create a small checkpoint that works as a respawn point with an ammunition refill box, which between you and me, you'll need quite a lot. As the story progresses, so does your journey with your team. Every new chapter, you set up a major camp with a lot of options to adjust, all the stuff in your game. You travel from point A to point B in a convoy, which is a pretty epic, apocalyptic looking truck. And as the game favors, most stuff, including the truck, is fully customizable. Even your character, from hairstyle and color to every armor piece and gun skin in your inventory. You will do this quite a lot, and I really mean it a lot. You loot stuff so much that you'll need to spend half your game time modding and going through gear to create the best set for your Outrider. Upgrading gear and modding gear with extra abilities is a nice touch, don't get me wrong, but you'll be at it like every 15 minutes or so, depending on your gameplay. But if you like customizing your Outriders, then you're gonna love this, because I've probably seen hundreds of guns and different looks for my character, which is nice in a way, don't get me wrong. But yeah, how good is Outriders, a game from 2021 that I've played now in 2025? Is it still playable? Well, yes, it aged surprisingly well. It's a basic shooter looter, but with an exciting story that's sometimes cheesy and sometimes very unexpected. In terms of plot twist, the gear modding and Outrider power skills add a nice touch to the combat, in terms of tactics, and they do open up ways to add strategy to battle, or just, going guns blazing depending on your tier difficulty and how you like to play the story. There's a lot of good, but there's also some minor bad stuff like visual glitches now and then. There's a GPS system, but it does seem to fail sometime when you're exploring new zones, but nothing major, nothing game breaking. I think the part of modding gear is a nice touch, but you do have to spend a lot of time doing it to actually keep up with the correct tier level. It's a love and hate relationship that a lot of people are going to experience this way. But in the end, Outriders proves to be a steady and most of all, awesome co-op experience. Well, that's it for my Outriders video. I hope this helped you decide whether to play or not. I sincerely think it is still playable in 2025, and I suggest you give it a try. And while you're still here at the end of the video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like button and stay tuned for more gaming adventures. As always, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.